Hello everyone, my name is Marion with DTM Real Talk Channel. It's the channel that you can tune into, have the ability to listen to the thoughts of others about topics all over the world that touch every one of our lives. Everybody goes through basically the same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. So if you're going through, someone else has already been there. Maybe you can find hope. Maybe it's a pathway that can set you on the right road just by tuning in. So DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. And if you like it, like us at the bottom, subscribe, and let us know just how we helped you. Just keeping it real. Nothing but love. Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. We are back this week, and once again, I can say we're excited again. We really are excited. Thanks for everybody that emailed me at DTM Real Talk. Thank you, and I will definitely be getting in touch with you so that you can share your story with us as well. And welcome back, baby cousin.
Hello.
How's your day going?
I'm back.
You're back. How's your day today? How was work?
I go good. Yeah,
good?
work was good.
Work was good. Well, actually, work's always good for me because, you know, when you're doing what you like to do, it's not work.
That's right. That is right.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, where did we leave off? I think we gave you a little peek into our childhood. So wasn't really any bad things going on, just what children do. You know, they get into lots of things, and we'll get to tell you more later. But today we want to move into our high school, our time in high school. At least mine in high school was pretty interesting. As I said, I attended a little school called Elm Grove in elementary school, and in high school, I attended Higgins, L.W. Higgins in Marrero, Louisiana. One of those little towns on the outskirts, Harvey, Gretna, Marrero, that one. Mm-hmm. So at that time, the busing system had gone, segregation, the busing system. And so we went to school in the morning or either in the afternoon. It was called platoon system. So I attended the morning. We had to be at school for 6 o'clock in the morning. So School lasted from 6 to 12 noon. And then the evening students came at 1, from 1 to 6. So it was pretty interesting. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Yeah. And also I attended an all-girls school. And the brother school to that school was West Jefferson High School, located in Harvey, which is still there, the Buccaneers, and Higgins is there as well. So anyway, but during my childhood, going into high school, I always thought, well, like I said, my mom was a chef. She was a cook. She would cook all the time, and people would come to our house to eat. And being the selfish little child I was, I would say, I wish they don't come over here because they're going to eat up all our food. And my mom was so efficient and so caring, and she had a little closet called D Helping Hands Ministry. That's what it was, D Helping Hands Ministry. And she would actually provide people that were without clothes and food from the D Helping Hands Ministry. And so my dad, he was just the greatest servant ever during this time. He would always meet the needs of other people and, during this time. But he still had that anger problem. And I wasn't the perfect child to be able to view all of this while I was in my childhood. So I'm going into high school and I'm getting into things. When I say getting into things, guys, I'm telling you the truth with an F. I started smoking weed. Yes, I did. It was all girls school and the fighting still was in me. So I always had a lot of followers, that wasn't afraid to fight. And so we would fight. We would catch girls in the bathroom and turn out the lights and light the cigarette lighter and burn up their hair and turn the lights on and say, now, what you gonna say about it? What you gonna do? That was just evil. But that was my high school days. Then I was in a lot of talent shows and we called ourselves, it was 3 friends of ours, females, and then 3 guys, and we would call ourselves the Stylistics. Boy, we would sing, and we'd sing "Stop in the Name of Love" by Diana Ross. Before you break my heart. That's too, you don't know about that.
I know that song.
And we be just going like this, thinking over. And we won so many talent shows during that time. But I always thought that I was worse off than all of my friends because they would wear stylish clothes, and I never wore stylish clothes. My parents that wasn't their focus. They just made sure I had clothes on. And so I didn't have stylish clothes. So I felt very, very insecure and intimidated by that. As a matter of fact, my dad, one time he said, "Girl, you're going to grow up to be a teacher." And I said, "How you know?" He said, "Because you're walking on pencils." Now, little did he know that marked me for life.
Wow. Wow.
That marked me for life, guys. So don't make those kind of remarks to your children. I actually became so insecure about my little stick legs because that came from the Peterson side.
It really did.
It did.
Hello.
It came from the Peterson side. Because my mother's side had big, fine legs, like a drumstick. My brother, my oldest brother, he would wear shorts and he had the prettiest legs. Lord, he had the prettiest legs. And I always wanted my legs to be like his. But I got my daddy's legs, the little toothpick legs, right? But as a child, as a child, it made me very insecure until I was in high school and we would wear boots. I would stick towels inside of my boots because my legs were skinny. You see what those type of remarks will do. And I had, my mom's side had the big forehead. I'm going somewhere with this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Parents, we don't mean no harm. We call our kids big head and skinny legs, but that will mark a child for life. And so my dad used to call me, my brothers, they used to call me a football head, right? I was so insecure about my head, I would never be caught without wearing a bang. You know what that is?
You didn't want nobody to see
I didn't want anybody to see my head. But today, I'll tell you about that later. I love my head. But anyway, I didn't want anybody to see my head because I was insecure about the way I looked. And my mom, she, as I said, she was a teacher. She was so involved in my life in a sense of teaching me about becoming a young lady. She sit me down. She talked about, parents don't do that today. She talked about the process of becoming a young lady. She told me what to expect, but she also told me a lie. She said, if a boy touch you, you're going to get pregnant. If a boy ever kiss you, you're going to get pregnant. She told me that. But I believe
when the boy is touching you.
No, she said, if a boy ever kissed you, you will be pregnant. So let me tell y'all, I got to tell y'all this, right? See, children are full of faith. And even at my age, going to high school, I was full of faith in a sense of believing my parents. That's what I'm talking about. Because if you have a child and you stand him up on a cliff and you say, jump, baby, he's going to jump because he has confidence in his parent. So my mother told me, if a boy ever kiss you, you're going to be pregnant. And I did not want to be pregnant. And I remember I was 16 years old. And I went to a party down the street at the Green's house. And this boy from Jonestown, for some strange reason, a lot of girls in Harvey wanted to like a boy in Jonestown. I don't know why. But anyway, this boy in Jonestown, his name was Dale, light-skinned fella. And at that time, light-skinned fellas were like, oh, they thought they were all that in a bag of chips. And I was at this party that I was supposed to be home at 9 o'clock. My mother let me go, and I wasn't home at 9 o'clock. And that boy kissed me, and I just didn't want to go home because I thought I was pregnant. Now, you might be saying, how dumb can you be? But I trusted my mother. And I believed what she said. I really did. I was just in the 9th grade, I think, maybe just coming out of going to the 9th grade. And I was so scared to tell my mother. My mother.
That
I was pregnant.
Oh no.
But anyway, found out I wasn't pregnant. Just just keeping it real. So anyway, that was just one little instance, you know. And so most of my friends or associates that I had at that time, and I'm just keeping it real, had basically lost their virginities at the time, and I hadn't. And I always lied and said I did to be accepted. Okay. And I didn't want them to think I wasn't in the in crowd. I wanted to be in the in crowd. So, but I hadn't done anything. I was scared. You know, I was scared to kiss somebody. I was going to do something else. So, but anyway, the anger problem still was present in my home. And as I told you, my dad had this way that he wouldn't, his favorite curse word, you guys, were bastard and heifer. Now you're gonna call me a bastard and I belong to you.
Right. Daddy, I know you.
Bastard, you know, daddyless child. He would call us bastards when he get mad, right? And he would call me a heifer. The heifer is a cow, the female cow. So when he get angry, he called me a heifer. And I didn't understand that, but I was okay. And so, but I was, like I said, I was angry. I was building up more and more anger the more I saw what I saw. Now, my dad loved me, but as I said before, he never told me. I was in all these beauty contests and talent shows, and guess who bought everything I needed? My dad. He bought it. That was his way of saying I love you, but he never told me. Okay, so my first job, I remember, was at Roy Rogers in Gretna. And the next job was Crest Luncheonette. I was cooking like my mom. And I was in 9th grade. And so, Crest Luncheonette and Roy Rogers Steakhouse. It was a program at high school called DE, Distributive Education, and allowed you to work at the same time you were going to school. And I was a part of that program. And then there was another program, that Junior Achievement, where we would go across the river on the east side to teach young people entrepreneur skills. I attended that sometime. I told my parents I was going over there, but remember, the east side is the French quarters. So I would go to the East Bank, but I didn't go to Junior Achievement every Thursday. I would be in the French quarters, being exposed to all kinds of stuff. So besides for smoking weed, I was smoking weed and going in the French quarters and going in the little clubs and looking in there because I was so young and they'd ask for an ID. So I was getting the exposure to things that I really wasn't supposed to be exposed to as a child, and dealing with the anger and all things like that. So one day, meanwhile, back at the ranch, one day, it was my turn. It was my brother's turn to put the garbage out. I'm keeping this real, y'all. And my brother, when I say my brother, I'm speaking of my elder brother because I had 3 brothers beneath me. And my brother, it was his turn to put out the trash, and he did not do it. And so my dad told me to do it. And I became angrier because it wasn't my turn. And so you don't talk back to your parents in them days. You get your teeth knocked out on the other side of the street. And one day, just keeping it real, you'd be like, where my teeth?
Right.
Yeah. So my dad, I mumbled. I don't even know what I said, but I mumbled something. I don't know what I said. But before you know it, I was on the floor. I was in my room and I was on the floor. My dad with a backhand and pull out a belt. And he said, what you say? And he went on to hit me. And when he did that, I was so angry. My brother, the one who was the rescuer, he actually jumped up and bear hugged my daddy again. Yeah. And when he did that, he went down on the bed with my dad. I got on top of my dad, hit my dad in the top of the head with a shoe. This is real talk. I'm keeping it real. Yeah. Hit my dad in the head with the top, on top of his head with a shoe. And I knew that when he got up, I was going to be dead. So I started running. I'm 16. I started running, y'all. In the little street called Peters Road. I got on Peters Road. I forgot to tell you, I was running track. I was running. I was running down the street. Don't ask me where I was going. I was getting away from my daddy. Well, I was running. And I ran and ran and ran until I heard a voice, which was my brother. He called me Besa, baby sister, short for baby sister. So anybody that calls me baby sister knew me from a child, right?
Mhm.
So he said, Besa, Besa, come back here. So I went back. He said, tell daddy you sorry. I said, I'm not telling him I'm sorry. He hit me. I'm just keeping it real. Now, you know that was rebellious, right? So
Of course.
he said, come back and tell daddy you're sorry. I said, I ain't gonna tell him that he hit me. He ain't supposed to hit me like that. So I walked in the room, and my mom and dad in the living room were sitting at the table. They smoked at the time, and my mom was smoking Salem cigarettes. Sitting at the table, my dad was reading the paper and drinking a cup of coffee. If you would have seen me come through the front door, only had 5 rooms in the house. I came through the front door and straight to the bathroom, slammed the door. Just keep it real. I was scared to death. I knew I was gonna die a second death. I locked the door. My dad never came in there. He never said a word. He went on to work. And my mother came. Mary Ann, come out of that bathroom.
I know you was like, no.
I said, I'm not coming out. Kill me. I said, he's gone. I opened the door and came out. I never will forget it when my mother lied and she said he's gone. And I opened the door. He wasn't in there because I heard him, at least I thought I heard him leave out, but he didn't. And so when I came out, my daddy was standing right there. I said, I'm sorry. And he didn't say anything. And I went in my room. And so from that time on, the anger just began to just build up. And I had planned. I said, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and I'm gonna leave. I thought movie stars are all rich, so I said I'm gonna go to Hollywood and I'm gonna become a model. This was me because I was in repertory theater, all in Elm Grove School. I was in plays and Midsummer's Night Dream. It was Mrs. Sanchez, 8th grade, Elm Grove School. But anyway, I was in all these, and I said I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna bring financial freedom to my family. I'm gonna get us out of this rut. No, I'm 16. And my dad, because I had a job, mother taught me how to save money. And daddy, he would reward me for saving my money. That was at 14. What 14-year-old in our culture that weren't rich, that had over $2,000 in the bank at 14? That was me. That was me. Because my dad would reward me and my mother taught me how to save. My mother taught me how to write checks at 13. To write a check and sign it. Yeah. And so anyhow, I couldn't get that money out because it was in my daddy's name. So I had planned to run away from home. I'm talking high school here.
I'm pretty sure he was looking at you like,
yeah, I had planned to run away, girl. I was gonna leave. And so I was planning to run away. I said, I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna get the money out because I'm a minor. Well, my dad's name was like E.F. Hutton at the bank. It was Whitney Bank. Was it Whitney? I think it was Whitney. Whitney Bank.
I remember Whitney Bank.
Yeah, I think it was Whitney Bank. And if I said, my daddy said I could get it, they would give it to me. They don't do that today. Well, all right. Well, I went to the bank and I got that money out. All but about $15, $20. I did. My brother could tell you this. I got that money out. That's manipulative as the days is long. So listen up, children will be manipulative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got that money out and I had planned it, and my best friend was gonna run away with me. I can't call her name because I didn't get her permission. It was 2 of them. We're gonna call one Frances and we're gonna call one Darlene. We was gonna run away, and I told him I was gonna pay for everything. We was gonna run away to California, be movie stars.
Wow.
So we planned it. I was 16, so 17 roll around, I still hadn't gone nowhere, right? My daddy had no idea that money was gone. So going into my 17th year, I was always that protector, just like my dad. because I mean, I had to take care of my little brothers in reference to defending them. And so I wouldn't care about fighting. I would fight anybody. I would fight the president of the United States. Just keeping it real. So anyway, what happened after that? Got me lost there. Okay, yeah, we planned it out. We planned to leave. And my best friend, we're gonna call her Darlene. She was I've studied personalities for a while now. This is now. So now I know what type personality she was, but I know what type personality I am and was at that time and is. And so I'm that protector, loyal, faithful, forgiving, that kind of person. Yeah, we're gonna skip what we see now and we're gonna go forward. That's me. That's who I was. So she told me that this girl was picking on her at school, and that was my best friend. You wasn't gonna touch my best friend, right?
Of course.
So we planned it out. We're gonna beat her up on the last day of school. That's that Peterson coming out again.
I was just about to say that. That's that Peterson, because I done got in a couple fights the last day of school.
Right? We planned it out, and her boyfriend was gonna drive the getaway car. This is real. This ain't no story I'm making up. This is my high school life. Her boyfriend's gonna drive the getaway car. So the girl, I wrote a note to the girl because she was in the chorus. We were both singing, and I skipped chorus that day because I wanted to beat her up. And I knocked on the chorus door, and gave a note to somebody to let her know that she needed to see me after school. It was the last day of school. So the two of us, and the girl came out. We had planned it. I don't know why we're getting feedback. We're getting feedback. Are you getting feedback on your end?
No.
Okay, maybe it's my end. So we planned it, and I tell you, the girl came out, and I had an umbrella, and I don't rejoice at this at all. I'm ashamed of it. However, it did happen. I had an umbrella, and I hit that girl with an umbrella and broke it. And the hook of the umbrella was in my hand. And because she was my friend, I wanted her to pick me.
Right.
And so I stabbed her with the umbrella. Don't y'all judge me. I was 17.
No judgment. No judgment here.
So that was some of the anger I had built up inside of me. And I stabbed that girl, and blood went everywhere. And by the time we got to the front of the school, the police were everywhere. And they said, our last one will just say Lexington and Davis. And they said, Lexington and Davis. And they caught me and her by the back of our legs and threw us in the patio. And we went for aggravated assault with a weapon. And so I was so ashamed of myself that my mother was more ashamed. And she said, you speak for the future. And my daddy said, that's my girl.
Sound like my daddy and my mama.
But I have to tell you the next time I saw her on the next clip. Take it away.
Well, let's see. High school for me was good and bad. I'll say that much. My first year of high school, my mom had my middle sister.
Okay.
So she had her. I was living with my dad when she had her, and her and my dad made an agreement for me to come and live with her because I didn't have any siblings, and she wanted me to be around my sister. Well, she decided that she wanted to move to Atlanta, and she wanted me to go with her. And it was ultimately my choice. I was 13, turning 14, so my parents gave me the choice on whether or not I wanted to stay in New Orleans or move to Atlanta. And I said, well, I want to move to Atlanta with my mom. And I don't know why I said that at first, because I was in Atlanta, first year of high school. So I know I'm in a new state and a new school. I know nobody. Thought I was gonna like it. I hated it. I got so homesick. I wanted to come home so bad. I missed my friends. I missed my family. We always had get-togethers and all the cousins was together for every holiday. And I was like, oh no, I don't like this. I don't get to see my cousins. Mind you, I had no siblings. My cousins were my siblings.
Yes.
So I don't get to see my cousins. I can't see my friends that I grew up with. I was done. I didn't want to be in Atlanta at all. Well, my mom got pregnant with my second sister, and she got homesick, which was great because she said, let's go back home. I was like, yay! I'm so happy you got pregnant. So we came back to New Orleans, and after she had my second sister, honestly, I think that's when my mom was alcoholic. And I think not that long after she had her, I think that's when it all started. My mom didn't have a relationship with my middle sister's father. She didn't have a relationship with my youngest sister's father. And the relationship she had with my father was genuinely just co-parenting with him for me. So she was the alcoholism started. It started slowly. She would have a beer, one beer, out of a couple days, and then it grew from there. But my mom put the responsibility of my sisters on me. I was a straight A and B student, but my ninth grade year, I was failing, and my dad did not play that about my grades. He wasn't. If I got a C, I was on punishment. I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to.
You knew what you were capable of.
Right. So I wasn't allowed to get any C's. And if I was getting C's, he put me in tutoring to get that C up. My dad he just wasn't having it. And I remember, and mind you, I was still dealing with an anger problem, and I didn't know why. And I remember my dad, even though they weren't together, my dad would pick me up for school, bring me to school, and pick me up from school. I went to school in Jefferson Parish, and he worked in Jefferson Parish. So it was easy for him to pick me up, bring me to school, and he didn't want me catching the bus. So he used to always ask me, why are you so angry? Why are you so mad? And I would just, I'm 14. I don't know. I really didn't know. I had some resentment against my dad too, that he didn't know that I had, but he can tell something wasn't right. Well, anyway, when I got my report card, my dad said, Anna, why are you failing? What's going on? This is not you. You're failing 2 classes. What's going on? And I said, Dad, I'm tired. And he said, what are you tired of? And I said, well, I take care of my sisters. When I get home from school, I got to watch them. I have to cook for them. I had to clean up. I got to watch them. My mom is at work. If she's not at work, she's not watching them. I was doing everything. It was either me or my grandmother. And my mom and my grandmother had a very toxic relationship. So my grandmother would be there 1 minute and the next minute she wouldn't.
Right.
So if my grandmother was there, it took the load off of me. But if she wasn't, then the load was back on me. So mind you, I'm 14 years old, taking care of a 18-month-old and a newborn.
Wow.
As if they were mine. And trying to maintain my AB average. So of course, my mom and my dad got in a huge argument about it, and he threatened to take me from her, and she kind of buckled down on, okay, well, maybe let her study first. She buckled down as far as letting me making sure that I studied first, then took care of the baby. It really wasn't any different. It was a lot. So that's when the depression slowly started kicking in. And I remember, and I don't know if my dad remembers this, but I remember one day he was bringing me to school, and I think he just had enough of asking me what was wrong, and I was saying nothing.
Mm.
And we were sitting in front of the school, and he said, "Have I ever told you why me and your mother got divorced?"
Mm.
And I said, "No, but my mom did." And I kind of gave him this look like, "I know what you did."
Mm.
And he realized at that moment that my mom, and what she did, and as parents, we really need to watch what we say to our children.
Absolutely.
My mom planted a seed in me about my dad at 7 years old.
Mm.
Well, I'll say between 5 and 6, because they got divorced when I was about 5 or 6. So about 5 or 6 years old, she planted a seed in me about my dad, and it stuck with me.
Wow.
And that anger just grew, and that resentment towards him grew and grew and grew, because I felt like, you don't really love me. You're just doing this so mom won't put you on child support. Because she planted a seed in me about him. She talked about my dad in front of me and to me as if I was an adult. And of course, as a child, you don't know that this is wrong. You shouldn't,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have these type of conversations in front of your child or to your child about their other parent.
Yes. Yes.
So she planted a seed in me, and I resented my dad. I did. I didn't. And it was nothing. He tried to be the best dad. He loved me, and he showed it. He told me. He did everything that a dad is supposed to do and more, I think.
Mm. Wow.
But at that time, I didn't know that. I didn't know. I just resented everything he did, because I felt like he was just trying to not be on child support, and everything my mother told me he was, I believed her.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that anger just became more, and he just got tired. And he told me, he said, you're still not an adult, and I still feel like you're too young, but I have to tell you the truth, because I hate the way you look at me.
Mm.
He hated the way I looked at him. So he told me the truth, and he went on and on. And I don't think I went to school. I don't remember even going to school that day, because I think I cried. He cried.
Wow.
It was something we both needed. So the resentment started to slowly go away, but the anger was still there, because now it was geared toward my mother. And I didn't want to leave, but I didn't want to stay.
Mm.
And I don't know why. I felt like if I wasn't there, my sisters wouldn't be taken care of. So I had to stay, because if I'm not here, who's going to do this for them?
Yeah.
I put how I felt to the side for them. But with that came when I wanted I wanted to try to kill myself. Right. When I was 16, I tried to kill myself. And it's because I couldn't take it anymore. My mom was verbally abusive. She was emotionally abusive. She made me feel this small sometimes. And I hated that. And at 16 years old, we were back in Atlanta. By this time, we were back in Atlanta. We moved back. And by the time I was 16, I remember I wrote her a letter. I wrote her a suicide. I couldn't take it. I don't want to do this anymore. And I feel like there's no reason for me to be here. You only want me here to take care of my sisters. I didn't have them. You had them. And I told her this all in the letter. And I just didn't want to be here. I just felt like I wasn't needed. And there's definitely when I felt that way, and I didn't succeed, I said, okay, God obviously wants me here for a reason. Mm-hmm. And I said I had to pray about it, and I did, and I found my way out. and we'll talk about how I found my way out.
Wow. Wow. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week to find out what happened with my plan to leave Louisiana and Leisha's plan on how she finds her way out. Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching DTM Real Talk. Be sure to join us for more conversation. And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe while you're there.